Hi, and welcome back to Hill and Ponton Social Security Disability Blog. I'm Natalia, Jofre, the Social Security Section Director.
And I'm Shelly Mark. I'm the Social Security attorney.
So we're doing our whole series on different cases, different things that you can learn from those cases, and different concepts that get applied.
Right.
And next you wanted to talk about
Earnings.
earnings.
And I know that you and I have talked a lot about earnings in the past, and how we need to know if you have any earnings because it absolutely will come out.
Right.
And we've also discussed, a number of different ways that individuals have earnings, but they say they don't have earnings, whether it's someone else using their social or working under the table or owning a business, but saying that they don't own a business. There's a number of different scenarios that we've been faced with people that say they don't have earnings, and then it ends up being that they have earnings.
Mm-hmm.
I've had situations where Social Security has not updated our earnings record, or let me rephrase that. Social Security hasn't sent us an updated earnings record for the client prior to the hearing, and then we get in the hearing, and the judge has what's called a work history report. And the judge will tell me that the client has earnings. And that's definitely not a good situation to be in either. And this too plays into credibility. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you've been waiting 3 years and reporting no earnings, and then you end up having some, it's going to be an issue.
Just know that anytime you're using your Social Security number, whether you're working yourself and using it and paying, getting paid and paying wages and all that good stuff, and someone else uses, because sometimes people claim this, someone else must be using my Social Security number. You're going to have to prove that
somehow.
But if anyone, so that's why I say if anyone, yourself included, is using your Social Security number and getting paid using that number, and they're withholding taxes, those earnings are going to show up on your earnings record. And that's going to become an issue because either you're going to be making over the amount allowable by Social Security, where you can still qualify for benefits, or even if it's under, which we always recommend that you not work and pay and pursue a claim, or if it's under, you're still going to have to explain what are you doing, where are you working, how much are you making, what type of work, how many hours a day, how many hours a week, so on and so forth. So that's what we're referencing to when we're talking about earnings. So did you have a case where this became an issue?
I had a case where the individual came to us for assistance, and they had a hearing prior with a different attorney and a judge. And when I reviewed the file, I noticed that the judge had asked the claimant during the hearing whether or not they had earnings. And in the hearing, the client testified that they had not worked since whatever their onset date was. And the judge went back and forth with them because there were clearly earnings in this person's earnings record, which the judge laid out in his denial.
And onset date, just so that you know, that's the date you're claiming you became disabled.
Right.
Okay, so they clearly had earnings after the date they were claiming they became disabled.
Right.
Okay.
And they came to us for assistance, and we took the case to assist them, not realizing that there was that prior denial and the prior hearing. And when we received the file and I looked at it, it was very clear to me that for a current year that they were alleging they were disabled, they had $108,000 in earnings.
Holy camole.
Yeah, and they were filing an SSI only claim, which is, as you guys probably know if you've watched our prior blogs, is based on your income. In a situation like that, the issue is that the client says that he owns a business, but he says that he doesn't do any work and that he doesn't have any earnings from the business. But there are clearly earnings that are posting to his Social Security number in a very substantial amount. So if you own a business and you're using your social, those are earnings. Whether you're sitting at home and you're not doing anything with your business, that's fine. But the judge is still going to find that those earnings are your earnings.
That's right. That's a whole other topic too.
It is.
Because honestly, we have that issue a lot with people that are self-employed, where they think, I have this business, but it's really not profiting.
Right.
By the time I deduct all of my expenses, I'm actually in the negative. And so this shouldn't be considered income. But as far as Social Security is concerned, it is going to be considered income.
It is. It is going to be considered income. And, remember on Social Security's side, what they're wanting you to prove is that your disabilities prevent you from gainful employment.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime you have to get into specifics of this is what I'm working, this is how many hours I'm working, this is what I'm making, the judge is going further and further away from finding that you're disabled and unable to work. So it's really, really, really important to establish the fact that you're not working, you don't have any earnings after your onset date, and that honestly, it's best if it just remains that way, obviously.
And they're looking at your work capacity. So clearly,
Right.
if you're able to be a business owner and run a business, whether you're physically running that business yourself, I mean, just because you have a shop with an employee and the employee is tending to clients and you're not, you're still having to run that business.
Right, exactly.
And so you're basically proving their case for them in terms of capacity to do more.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. And that is exactly what the case was in that specific case.
Wow. All right. Well, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to visit our website or call our office.
Thank you.